Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off the gas valve at the wall. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the GE Dryer natural gas conversion kit. It's going to be a very easy repair and it's only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the instructions, the regulator blocker, and the natural gas orifice. The natural gas conversion kit is what you use to convert your dryer from burning liquid propane to natural gas. In order to install this kit, we have to open up the gas system. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, please call a technician. In order to get to the part, we have to take the dryer apart. First thing we're going to do is use our Torx 20 driver and take the 4 screws out across the top of the console. Once you have the screws out, we're going to lift the console up and disengage the 3 tabs that lock into the top panel. And then you can just set the console on the back of the dryer. Then we can open up the dryer door and use our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 2 screws that hold the front panel to the top. Once you have both screws out, you can close the dryer door. To take the top off, we're going to lift it up and pull it off the dryer. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. With the top out of the way, we can remove these 2 screws. There's one on each side. It holds the front panel to the cabinet. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to take them out. Once you have the screws out, you want to make sure you hold on to the front panel. We're going to take it off in a minute, but you don't want it to fall off. To get the front panel off, we're going to carefully lean it forward so we can disconnect the door switch wiring harness. Once you have it down far enough, we have to reach down and move this shield. We're going to pull this tab out from the cabinet and then swing it out of the way so we have access to the wires. There's actually 2 wires on the switch that we have to take off, and we have to disconnect this union. All you have to do is unplug it, and then we can take the wires off the door switch. First one we're going to take off is the yellow with the red stripe. That's going to go on the top. If they're on there tight, you can use a small flathead screwdriver to pop them off. And then we had the white one, which went to the bottom one. Once you have those 2 disconnected, we can let go of the shield, and then we can lift the door off the mounting tabs. Now that we have the front panel off, we're going to take the drum out. In order to do that, we're going to take these 2 screws out on the cabinet and disconnect it from the support bulkhead. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to take them out. With the screws out of the way, we can reach in and take the belt off the pulleys. In order to get the belt off the pulleys, we're going to reach in between the drum and this bulkhead. You may have to lift it up a little bit to make some room. We're going to reach back and grab the idler pulley, and you have to pull it down towards the bottom of the dryer, and that'll make some slack in the belt so you can get it off the pulleys. Now that we have the belt off the pulleys, we can use it to lift it out of the dryer. You need to guide it out of these cutouts on the cabinet. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have the drum out, we have access to the valve assembly that we have to take out. We're going to take off all the wires first. We're going to unplug the solenoids. All you have to do is pull on these. They just come right off. And then we're going to use a small flathead screwdriver to help unplug the wiring harness. There's a locking tab in here. Once you have that unplugged, we're going to take the gas line off. So we're going to get the wires out of the way. And we're going to use a adjustable wrench to loosen up this nut. Once you have it broke free, you can just unscrew it with your hand. Once you have the line off, you can just set it down. And then we're going to grab a pliers and bend this locking tab over. Now that we have the tab bent straight, we're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to take out the 2 Phillips screws that hold the assembly to the cabinet. Once you have the screws out, we're going to lift the valve up so it comes off that tab. You have to slide it forward, and you can lift the assembly out of the dryer. Now that we have the gas valve assembly out, we can set it down so we can take it apart. We're going to leave the igniter on it. Just be very careful that you don't bump it. It's very fragile, you don't want to break it. Once you have the valve set down, we can use a Phillips screwdriver to take out these 2 screws. Once you have the screws out, we're going to slide the burner tube forward, and then we can remove this 1/4-inch screw so we can remove the LP shutter. We use a 1/4-inch wrench to take this out. Once you have the screw out, we can get the shutter out. If you need to, you can use a flathead screwdriver to help get the shutter out. Once you have the shutter out, you can set the burner tube aside. Next, we can take out the LP orifice. We're going to use a 3/8-inch wrench to break it free and take it out. Once you have it broke free, you can just unscrew it by hand. And then we can take out the LP blocker. We're going to use a flathead screwdriver to unscrew that. Once you have the blocker out, you can separate the 2 pieces. Here's the old LP parts next to the natural gas conversion kit. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. If you're following along with the instructions, you'll notice that they talk about making sure that you have enough pressure. We're unable to show you how to do that in the studio, but you need to be sure that your gas is being supplied the proper pressure. Now we can put the natural gas kit parts on. First, we're going to put the regulator blocker in. Once you have it started, you can tighten it down with the flathead screwdriver. Then we can lift the valve up so we can put in the natural gas orifice. Once you have it on there, we can grab our 3/8-inch wrench and tighten it down. Once you have it tight, you can set the assembly down so we can put the burner tube back on. Be careful with the igniter so you don't break it when you're putting the tube on. Just going to set it down in place and line up the screw holes. And we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws back in. Once you have the burner tube mounted, we're going to take a razor blade and we have to remove this label saying that the valve has been converted to LP. So we're just going to carefully pull this up and remove it. Once you have that off, we can put the gas valve assembly back in the dryer. To put the gas valve assembly in, we're just going to carefully get it down into the burner tube there and make sure this tab comes up through the slot. Once you have the tab through there, we're going to grab our pliers and bend it over. And then we can grab the Phillips screwdriver and put in the 2 screws that hold it to the bulkhead. Now that we have the screws in, we can reconnect the gas line. If you have to, you can move all these wires out of the way. You can get the nut started on the gas line. And then we're going to grab the adjustable wrench and tighten it down. Once you have it tightened down, we can reconnect all the wire connectors. We're going to connect the igniter first. It can only go on one way, so just line it up, snap it together. And we're going to connect the wires to the gas valve. You have the smaller one with 2 terminals, goes on this solenoid. And the 3 terminal goes on this solenoid. Once you have everything back together, you want to temporarily turn on the gas and check for leaks. Once you're sure you don't have any leaks, you can turn the gas off and put the rest of the dryer back together. Once you have everything put back together, you're supposed to operate the dryer and make sure it's a good blue-white flame with small yellow tails. And depending upon the type of dryer you have, you might have to do it through the access door, through the side hole, a hole in the front panel, or if it's like our dryer, there's actually a hole in the bottom of the dryer and you have to look underneath there with a mirror in order to see the flames. So make sure you do that and make sure you have a good solid blue-white flame. Now we can put the drum back in the dryer. You want to make sure that the shaft on the center of the drum goes into the opening. We're going to use the belt to lift it up and guide it back through the cutouts. Once you have it in place, you can let the belt down, and you want to make sure the ribs are against the drum. Then we can go down and put the belt around the pulleys. In order to put the belt back through the pulleys, we're going to do the same as before and reach inside and push the idler pulley down towards the bottom of the machine. Once you have the belt routed through, you can pull your arms out. We can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the 2 screws in that hold the support bulkhead to the cabinet. Now we can put the front of the dryer on. To put the front panel on, we're going to line it up and set it onto the mounting brackets. There's one on each side. Once you have it on there, we're going to lift it up. Once you have the front panel lifted up a little bit, we're going to swing this cover out of the way, just like when we took it out. And we're going to attach the white wire to the back post. And the yellow with the reddish stripe on the top one. And then we're going to grab the black one that snaps together and push them together so we get a good connection. Once you have them all reconnected, we're going to lift the cover back over and lock the locking tab into the side. And then we can lift up the front panel and put it up the rest of the way. Once you have the front panel up almost all the way, we're going to have to lift up the drum so it rides on the glides. Once you have the front panel up, then we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in from the back. With the front panel secured, we can put the top on the dryer. To put the top on, you want to make sure that this tab right here goes underneath the control panel bracket here on each side, and then when you lower it down, this tab right here is going to go into this opening. Once you have the top on and in place, we can open up the door and put the screws in to hold it in place. We can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in and tighten them down. Now that we have the top secure, we're going to carefully remove any other LP stickers that might be on the dryer. So we're just going to get behind it with a razor blade and peel them off. Once you have the labels removed, you can close the dryer door. Next, we can lower the console back in place, and you want to make sure that these 3 tabs go into the opening on the top. Once you have it set down, you can push it back into place, and we can use our Torx 20 driver to put the screws in. Now that we have the dryer put back together, we can plug it back in, turn the gas back on, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.